Hello everyone, welcome once again to CSC 151. Previous recording of this didn't actually record, so we'll try this again. In this video, we will be going over charts. So I have already set up some information, and I have this set up in a specific way to make a point. So if I were to go into Insert and I go into a chart, I don't care what type of chart, I'll just pick a 2D column chart just for the sake of 2D column. It already has this information right there. Boom, 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 boom. Now, if I put the word years right here, select this, and then try to go to Insert Charts, now I have a problem in that it thinks that my years, which were a category originally, is part of the same data, that it's part of the same axis as headsets, phones, chargers, and cables. And thus I get this area over here where my years are gigantic, and because my numbers over here are, small, all my numbers over here are now small and teeny tiny, and I've got Series 1, Series 3, Series 2, Series 4, so on and so forth. And it's very confused. So, first things first, when you are making a chart, make sure you have a chart set up in such a way, your information, that it's easily grabbable and will not have an error. You would like, if you have two different axes for your category, an x-axis and a y-axis, or an x-axis and a y-axis, depending on which way you want to go, make sure that you have a separation between it, so that all you have to do is simply click and drag, and go to the chart tool, and you make a chart. And it's fully functional and very ready. So like headsets goes to blue, phones goes to orange, chargers goes to that, so on and so forth. And if by any chance you look at this and go, wait a minute, I want my numbers on the bottom, I want this flipped. I don't want my numbers that way. Okay, well in that case we can just go to switch row/column, which is right up here in the ribbon. And now it switches it. Now my legend is my years and my axis is the phones, this basically I switched my two axes. I switched this guy and this guy. I switched my years and I switched my items. And I can switch them back by simply hitting switch row column, switch row column. Now once again, all this sort of stuff is under the chart design. There is chart design and format options in the ribbon, but they are only there when you click on the item. When you click off of the chart, those items go away from the ribbon. You click back on them, it goes back on. Now, what happens if by any chance you go and you don't have anything selected, and you just make a chart, and the chart is blank? Well, you can either delete the chart and redo it, or there is this option called Select Data. And in that data, in the data range, I can just simply click and drag the cells I want, and click OK. And now I have the information. And I can wind up doing that manually for each individual part if I really had to. I can also, under this chart design, add different chart elements. Maybe I don't like that these numbers have absolutely, they're just bars, but, they kind of have to visualize them. So maybe I want bar line errors, grid lines, legend, trend line. What am I looking for? Got the axes, got the title. You know what? Let me add a vertical title as well to this, because I'll just say this is, sales in thousands. Okay? And while I'm at it, I'll just change this chart title. Whenever you double click something, this thing on the right pops up. Not going to worry about that right now, but I'll name this, Company X's product sales chart. That's what I'll call it. We go to Add Chart Element, got chart title, above chart, data labels. Oh, there's data labels. Right now I have none. If I put them, I'll put them on the outside end. Boom. Now I have numbers for each one of these bars, so it easily is represented. I can do that. I can also go to Add a Chart Element. Maybe I want to add grid line. I've got the major ones. Let me add some minor ones. Boop. Now it has more grid lines going across like that as well. So, that's how you can wind up doing something like that. And of course, I can click any of these items and just move it over. Maybe do that. Maybe I want to grab these years and I want to move them over there. Oops, let me switch the rows and columns here just for the sake of headphones, chargers, cables. There we go. Excuse me, what happened to my, headsets, chargers, cables? I don't have a chart element. Let me see, axis title. Yeah, primary horizontal as well. Boom. No, nope, that's not what I want. Chart title, data labels, chart title, axes, data table, with legend key. I can add a legend key like that to it. I can also add, that's what I needed. I need a legend. Let me add a legend on the right-hand side. Boom, there we go. So let me just delete that. That's not what I wanted. And now I can switch the rows and columns. There we go. Now I have myself my years at the bottom, and I have a legend telling you what the blue bar means, what the red bar means, what the gray bar means, and what the yellow bar means. And I can do stuff like that. Now, obviously, I can double-click any item I want here, and more options will appear on the right-hand side. I, for one, don't like that this number goes all the way up to 120, because we notice nothing even goes past 100. So I'm going to just simply make that 100, and click back over here, and there we go. Now my bar has changed so that 100 is our maximum right up there, and it fills up more use of the chart. And I'll just stretch that out there. Boom, there we go. I can once again move around and reshape anything on here. I can change the color, so on and so forth. And that's basically how a chart works. Now, it'll be the same thing if I, were to select my data, and I go to, instead of a bar chart, I go to a line chart. And I'll just pick, I don't know, a line chart with, markers. And there we go, I have a line chart with markers, and I can change up the whole sort of stuff again. And it would be the same if I decided I really only wanted to look at the headsets, and I wanted to instead go and say I want a pie chart. So now I'm just specifically looking back at only the headsets. But I can go, add chart element, add myself a some on the outside edge there. Boom, there's my numbers, I can grab that. Or if I decided I really only want to look at the chargers on the pie chart, I could go and say pie chart that. And oh look, I have an unfortunate problem of 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, that's because I don't have this data axis right here. So I can just simply select my data, and oh look, horizontal axis label right there. Boop, 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 click and drag, grab those information, hit OK. And now I've got the years down there as well, instead of series 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can always just go and change stuff about this. Also, the big thing about charts is, let's just say this 96, because it's the biggest one. Let's say that was actually meant to be 76. And I hit enter. Boom. It will automatically change depending on what it is that I do. If I change this data, this isn't actually cables, this was actually memory cards. And now, there it goes. Now that popped up and it switched its name to memory cards. This actually was meant to be 168. And of course, because the axis only goes up to 100, it goes way beyond it. But if I were to switch this axis back to 200, there we go, 168 is now visible right there. So, whatever you do to your data, your chart will automatically update to match it. Oh, we skipped a year. This wasn't 2021, this was 2022. And now it says 2022 down there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So, as long as you have your information correct here, it will reflect itself in any chart you make. And we will go into something very similar to this in the next video, which is Sparklines. Sparklines will also introduce the first iteration of Google Sheets being different than Excel. So, I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you. You have a great day.